Next question, please. It was that they want to.
तेरा क्रॉप कर दूंगा मैं बोल दूंगा टेक्निकल एरर टेक्निकल ग्लिच था मेरा सुन लो बस
Oh no, I think that's it for today's. And like and share and subscribe. Oh, mute. Bye.
Hello guys, this is Abhishek Panjani. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to have a discussion with Asta. So currently, she is working as a senior software developer for Nasdaq. She has served as a SDE intern with Amazon. She is one of my batchmates. So she is from NSIT New Delhi, from Information Technology stream. And apart from this, she is a great competitive programmer and have been a part of ICPC regionals as well. Not only good in competitive programming, but she is also good with her computer science fundamentals and academics. So before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hello Asta, welcome to our YouTube channel.
Thank you, Anjani. Thank you for having me, and thank you for such a great introduction. So yeah, you tell me, how's pandemic treating you?
Who knows it better than you? We had so many plans regarding the farewells and all. But yeah, in order to make this pandemic little productive, I started the YouTube channel and I am like trying to help everyone who aspires to be in the top tech based companies in somehow. I am trying to give my contribution.
Yeah, we can see that it's such a great initiative to give back to the community. You are doing great.
Okay, thank you. So now let's begin with some questions. So can you tell us something about yourself, your journey, how you started as a first year fresher and now you are working as a senior software developer. So how it feels and how the entire journey went.
So yeah, it's pretty confusing. Like when I started, I was a confused kid who didn't know where she wanted to go. So when I joined college, so our senior was Ira Singhal. So she was a topper in UPSC. So my father got me into NSIT because he was inspired by her. So he wanted me to get into UPSC, and so in first year it was like I'll have to go into services, public services. But then when I saw other kids doing competitive programming and coding and all that, so it excited me. So when I first started, it was difficult for me to take in because I had taken a gap since everyone started in their first year, but I started in my second year. So I got like a inferiority complex, and but then I started enjoying it. Who knows better than you? So you were my guide. So you helped me with the competitive programming, and from there, if I had any doubts, I had friends to ask for. So that helped me to start with this coding platform.
So you are a great motivation for all those who think that it's too late. So it's never too late to start with competitive programming if you are ready to give your best. So yeah, what actually helped you get a job? Was it coding, competitive programming, strong projects, or resume? So what was the major thing that was actually the most important thing when we discuss about getting a good internship or getting placed in a top tech based company?
Yeah. So good competitive programming is must, I think, because the first round is the coding test. And if you ask me for campus coding test, so it's like you get only 200 or 300 students for a company. So it might be a probability of 1 by 300 for one to clear that round. But in case if you want to go for a off campus placements, right? So they have around 30,000, 20,000, 15,000 of people for one coding test. So your probability is around 1 by 15,000, 30,000. So whatever is the number. So yeah, you can see the absolute difference between the two. So that's why competitive programming gives you a very good grip to clear the coding test. So after you clear that coding test, it's all about your data structures and algorithm, how good you are in that. But there are many specific companies who test you on good computer fundamentals like OOPS, like OS, and then DBMS networks. So yeah, for me the most important thing is to clear the coding test. So I think most of the people who are from computer engineering field, they have a good grip on data structures and algorithms and computer fundamentals, but they lack with the coding test. So they have not focus more on competitive programming. So yeah, I think you should be good with your coding tests.
Yeah. So according to me, like if you have a good grip over data structures and algorithms, then the coding round is not a hindrance for you. All you need to do is practice as much as you can. So that's the most
Right.
important part. Also, you highlighted the importance of computer science fundamentals. I also believe that computer science fundamentals plays a major role when you are preparing for your interviews. So most of the people actually focus on data structures and algorithms and leave this part. So this part actually creates an issue for those people who actually like neglect this part.
Yeah, even you will agree. We have seen many people in our college who were very good at competitive programming and data structures and algorithms, but they have been rejected in the last round because they were not good with computer fundamentals. They were not pretty clear with their concepts and all that. And that's, I think, very essential part of of interview preparation.
I think you're pointing at me. So yeah, I was good at competitive programming,
Yeah.
but I was
Pretty
weak at
much.
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
Your
weak.
own YouTuber Vanchani sir, he has been rejected from seven companies during his internship. So yeah, he's a very good example.
So yeah, my next question is, was it easier for you to get a job being from a tier one college?
I think in my case, it was not so. But if I talk in general about the tier one college students, yes, it's pretty easy because we have a lot of opportunities during our on-campus placement drive. Because we have around 150 or 200 companies that visit our campuses. So yeah, it's easy on that. But in my case, I was not able to grab any internship during my placement drive because I was not ready, or I say I was prepared enough to crack the interview rounds. So I've gone for off-campus placement drive. So I came across Amazon Placement Drive in January 2019. It was for internship. And I have asked some of my senior for referral, and then I got into that process and I cleared that, and I've done my internship at Amazon Hyderabad. So that was my little internship story. So yeah, that was my case during my internship. And again, I speak about my placement story that is similar to like that. So during my placement, I have grabbed a placement offer from a startup called CocoCode. But then I was not sure if I wanted to work in a startup because I was not good with development and development skills. So I was not aware, I was not sure that I'll be able to work really hard for 70 to 18 hours of a day. Then I searched for some other options that I can go for. So I came across BNY Mellon and I came across NASDAQ. So NASDAQ happened earlier, BNY Mellon. So I came across a Hacker Earth contest for NASDAQ for freshers. And then I gave the test and cleared all the interview rounds, and then I got in. And BNY Mellon also held during my interview rounds of NASDAQ. So I gave the test for BNY Mellon as well. That's my placement and internship story.
So you were able to get an internship off campus. So you already talk about the low probabilities that there are in the off campus opportunities. So you were able to get the internship as well as the placement from two big companies off campus. So that's pretty great. So one thing that I believe is usually most of the tier 3 people think that it won't be possible for them to get a good internship or placement. So I would like to highlight the fact that it is not the scenario. There are ample of opportunities for the tier 3 people as well. There are lots of off-campus opportunities, and all you need to do is be aware about that.
People, mainly in my LinkedIn DMs also, people say that they were not getting able to referred by their seniors. So yeah, I would like to highlight that point. So in tier one colleges, what happened is we have a great bunch of seniors. So they actually help us to get us referrals. But in my case, I did not opted for any referral for NASDAQ and for BNY Mellon as well. I was just aware about the Hacker Earth contest that happened. So it did not require any referral. So what I would suggest is just be aware about that. Use LinkedIn properly. And also, what you can do is try connecting people in which company, whatever company you want to go. So you can ask random 10 to 15 people. So you can message them about your so and so skill and your resume. That if any available position is there, they can refer you. And what I would also suggest is, instead of just replying with whatever positions available, you can just search for available positions on the career site of the company and then send them the available position. So in that case, it will be easier for them to see. So they will know that you are serious about this particular position, and they might refer you, because nobody wants to lose on some great coder.
So you are a true motivation to all the girls. Would you like to say something about the opportunities that are there for the girls, or any other advantage that you face being a girl in your internship or placement journey?
Yes. So there are many opportunities for girls. If you're talking about me, I did not face any advantage of being a girl, since Amazon, during my time, Amazon did not go for gender ratio for the diversity field. But yeah, from now on, they have started Amazon diversity contest, where they are taking girls. So yeah, that's one for Amazon thing. And one, the other offers that I had, one is from startup. So you all know that startup does not have any diversity events or so. And BNY Mellon, yes, it was mainly for girls. So yeah, that was code divas contest. So there I had advantage of being a girl. And then on Nasdaq, it was nothing for a diversity ratio or something like that. But yeah, there are plenty of options for girls. So if you're a good coder, you have options like Adobe, Goldman Sachs, Intuit, Microsoft, and what else? But BNY Mellon. So yeah, these companies actually prefer girls. But that does not mean that you, just being a girl, can get all these options. You should be at the top of your game. You should be good with your coding skills and data structures algorithm. So yeah, these companies are actually trying to uplift the women community in software engineering field, and we must appreciate it, and we must take the opportunity. We must grab this opportunity. So all the women audience out there, you should start coding.
Yeah, so if you have the right skill set and if you are good at your skills, then certainly there are many opportunities for you. All you need to do is be best at your skills and be aware about these opportunities. I have seen many women candidates who have actually missed the Amazon hiring event. It was a diversity event and they had a great chance of getting into a company like Amazon. And I have seen many women candidates actually have missed that event. So yeah, you must be aware. So my next question is, most of the people after getting a job, they leave everything. They leave the competitive programming. They leave all the other skills that they were working upon. Many people are working upon their projects. So after getting a good placement opportunity, they just leave their development stuff. They leave their competitive programming. They leave everything. So what actually would you like to suggest to the new joinees who will be joining in another month or two? What would you like to suggest as a fresher, as a new joinee yourself? What are the difficulties that you face as a software developer?
So yeah, if you get placed early, so like say you get placed in a month of August, and your joining is in the next year, so you have a good amount of time. So during that time, what you can do is you just take a break, because we all know that placement procedure is very, very rigorous, and one gets trained out during the whole process. So it is advisable to take a break and do not pressurize yourself. So what you should do, you should not leave competitive programming or coding if you liked. You should have a balance, and you should between your hobby and your coding, because at the end of the day, after, even if you want to switch after a few years, you'll be judged on your coding skills. You'll be judged on your data structures and algorithms and computer fundamentals. That it is the fundamental, it is the basic of software engineering field. So you cannot say that now that I have a job, I do not have to do anything. So you should enjoy the process and should not take it as a pressure.
Yeah, so my next question is, I wanted to know your view about getting rejected. So most of the people I have seen, like when they are rejected from a company, like they are not able to get up from the rejection. So what I believe is, you should always learn from your rejections. You should, like, one day if you are rejected, you should get up the next morning with the fresh energy and try again. So that's what is important, the most important thing. So if I talk about myself, I was rejected from the first 8 companies that I appeared for during my internship days. So back to back 8 days, I was going in the morning for an interview, and in the night at around 10, I used to reach home and I was rejected. And again, next day, I used to go for an internship interview. So this was my journey. So I always took rejection in a very positive way. And obviously, I felt bad at that time. But now, when I see those things, actually believe that being rejected was actually a positive side, because I was able to learn so much. I was able to learn the things that I was lacking. So that's what my view. So what do you think about the rejection stuff?
So yeah, rejections are not a very comfortable topic for everyone. Everyone see rejection in a very different way, different manner. Some embrace it, some might get into depression because of that, since our world is a very competitive field, and everyone wants to be at the top of the game. So yeah, what happened in my case, so I was not able to grab any internship during my on-campus internship season, and where my friends, so they were getting multiple offers. So they had on campus offer as well as the off campus offer, but I was getting rejected each day, every week or every month, and this struggle continued for 9 months. But I did not give up. I tried coding every day. I tried to learn new algorithms every day. So it was a very difficult phase of my life, I must say. But then in January, I got a call from Amazon Recruiter for an internship drive, and then I got into that, and it was the best feeling. One should never give up because of rejections. You must embrace it, because whatever you are going to do is because of rejection. So you will only feel the happiness from the success only after getting rejected.
So yeah, according to me, it's very difficult to get up from rejection, but it's the most necessary thing that you must do. It is very important to get up after each and every rejection and fight for what you actually dream of. So dreams are something like you cannot get a dream in a single day. And if you are able to get a dream company in a single day, then it's not a dream. Then you should dream for something bigger. Dream is something that has struggles behind it. So that's what I think. So my next question is, how is the pressure of seeing your friends getting placed in top tech companies and you getting rejected? So my question is how to actually deal with that pressure, because that is the pressure that actually kills you. That competitiveness is what actually pressurizes you.
Yeah, that pressure is real. And so during our internship and placement season, that gets really tough when you see your friends who sits next to you getting placed at top tech companies, and you're getting rejected each day, and you're not getting placed or you're not getting any internship. So that pressure actually gets that I might say that sometimes people get depressed because of that, and some people give up on coding, some people give up on their dreams. But you should never do that. It's your friend who are getting selected. You should be happy about them, because they have worked hard to get there, and you should also learn from them. You should ask for help from them. So the situation never remains the same. You should make the situation in your favor. So that actually depends on you, how you take the situation. You must take it positively.
Yeah, so I remember one of the scenarios when I had one of my friends going for an internship interview at Sprinklr, and another friend was going for an interview with Microsoft, and I was selected for both the companies, and I had the interview chance to get interviewed with both of the companies, but I was rejected from both of them, and both of my friends were actually selected in their respective company. So that was the pressure and that I actually felt, but it was always like I always learn from my mistake. So that's what I believe. You should be happy for others achievements as well, and you should like try to grow together.
Right.
That's what is
Right.
more important.
Coding community is all about growing together, because one never knows all the things, and one must learn from each other. And in that way, we can actually build a greater environment and a healthy environment for each.
So thanks a lot, Asta, for interviewing with us and sharing your insights with us. It was great talking to you, and I hope that this will actually be able to help all the viewers and subscribers. So thanks a lot for giving us your time and telling us about your insights.
Thank you so much, Panchani, for having me. And yeah, guys, if you want us to do any story time or something about our placement or internship season and any kind of thing that you wanted to know, inside stories, do let us know in the comment section. And do like and share and subscribe this channel. He's doing great.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Bye bye,
Bye
Asta.
bye.
Bye.